Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl, Shereen. Guys, listen, I have a conversation to share with you. I'm online. If you want to leave, that's fine. I have a conversation to share with you because some I don't understand. Okay, let me put it in perspective for you. I understand because I have somebody on the line that is saying, okay, they don't understand, they don't see anything wrong with an individual asking where you are from. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with it either, right? As I said before, it based on the context or how that person portray the other person when the question is being asked, because lots of time people ask me where you are from. Okay, and nothing is wrong with that. Both black and white asked me where I'm from. And I said, well, okay, like the other day we went up north and we were in an environment. It was like 4 or 5 hours away from Calgary, right? We were north and we were vacationing there. And we met a couple, right? The couple is not predominantly white looking, like blonde hair, blue eye. So, and we were there together. And then they said, where you're from? And we said, we're from Calgary. Because of the context, I'm not thinking in my head that she's asking me where is my nationality or where I was born, right? So they asked me where I'm from, and I said, well, we're from Calgary because that is a vacation town. I'm not going to go in detail. Oh, I am from Jamaica, but I live it. I don't have time for that. And I hope that's not what the person was asking me, because I find it very offensive. Okay, I'm here just as they are, and they're saying where I'm from. So I just said, okay, I am from Calgary. We just came up from Calgary. No, and we asked them where they're from. They said they're from Calgary, but in a small. They were from, I think it wasn't Edmonton. It was from, I don't know, some rural area, which I recognize the rural area, and we start to talk, we have conversation and whatnot. Not come again, stick a pin now. When you migrated to a country for many years, right? And that is what people don't understand. Sometimes it get very confusing. Say I go to Florida, right? And a lot of people would ask me in Florida when I was vacationing down there where I am, where I'm from. Okay, the first question to me is, I know I'm not living in I know I'm originally born in Jamaica, but at the same time, I haven't resigned in Jamaica for over 25, if I say 22 years. I haven't resided in Jamaica. That's the furthest thing from my mind. Of course, I know, I acknowledge the fact that I'm Jamaican, but at the same time, I'm in Miami, I'm vacationing, somebody's asking me where I'm from. The first thing I'm going to think about is Calgary. Now, society wants you to believe that, okay, the first place you should recognize is your birth country. Is that fair to the individual after they have worked 25 years, 30 years in a country? Or they're not allowed to choose wherever they choose to say they're from? Just because they're born? As I said before last night when I was on the thing, this girl, she was adopted from Korea, right? And by Scottish people, or they are yes, they were Scottish. Yeah. And then they're living in Sweden. And because she's of Oriental descent, now every time somebody come up to her and ask her where she's from, she's so confused because she has never been to Korea. She has never been to, she look Korean. And then they're going to say to her, where are you from? And then when she said I'm from Sweden, they're going to say, oh no, where are you really from? Just because of our look? No, this is rude and out of order. People need to understand that. Listen, okay, if I feel to tell people that I'm from Jamaica, it's my prerogative. If I feel to say I'm Canadian, it is my prerogative. I know a lot of people, they are diehard, them love them country that they come from. They love Jamaica's beautiful island. Of course, I acknowledge that. But I can choose wherever I choose to say I'm coming from because I have love for Canada because I've put a lot of sweat here. I've never worked as hard as I did in this country. Like nowhere. When I was in Jamaica, I wasn't working as hard. I come here and I work hard and hard and hard, and I've struggled more here than there. And yes, people grow, people change, your thought pattern change because you live amongst other people, right? You see things clearly, you see things differently, you accept things that you didn't accept in the beginning, now you accept, right? I see myself going when I was in Jamaica, not that I don't like cleanliness or anything, but I find that now I'm more organized just because of the system is more organized here. That it doesn't deflect from Jamaica, and I do like Jamaica the way how they do things because it's everything all right. But at the same time, it doesn't work here, so I have to migrate myself into this system, and nothing wrong with that. And so I don't know if people are expecting people to say, okay, where they are from. Back to the argument with what happened at the Camilla event, right? She felt like the lady, she looked Canadian. She looked British. She doesn't look British. My pardon me, she don't look British, but she have British accent. The woman was there, mom came there in the 50s, she was brought up there. The woman is now in her 60s. What's wrong? And she's going to continually ask the lady where she's from. Obviously, anybody, if you see a black person, you know where a black person is originated from. We are all originated from Africa. Isn't that a given? Now, to put a person into a situation where they have to go down to the very detail and tell you where are you really, really from? Okay, do I know where I'm really, really from? Do I know which part of Africa they dragged my foreparents and brought them to Jamaica to slave them? No, I don't. I never did do a DNA analysis to find out whether or not I was descendants of some tribe in Nigeria or descendants of some tribe in Africa. I don't know. Has it ever occurred to me? I was brought up. I know I'm black. I accept that. So, okay, comes down now why I'm saying how people are rude. And sometimes, if you live in Jamaica, I can understand that some people wouldn't have an issue saying, oh, I'm Jamaican and I'm this and I'm that. But when you live amongst other people of other ethnic descent, like, for example, you live amongst Chinese, you live amongst Caucasian, you live amongst different nationality, and then you're going to go into details like that. Sometimes you have to take offense to it because it is microaggression, right? It's not something that is going to be asked like to put you in your place or to say, okay, where you're really, 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 really from. Isn't it obvious? If a person look Oriental, isn't it obvious that there's some place in Asia they are from? Isn't the person choice if the person decided to tell you whether, okay, my family is from Jamaica? Is their choice, right? No, the next thing is, like, I have my kids. My kids were born here. And people consistently asking my kids where they're from. What should they say? They should say, okay, my mother is from Jamaica. Why should they deliver that? Why? Is it none of their business? It's not because they are not proud of Jamaica. But it get tiring after a while, people asking you where you're from. You were born here in the hospital at Rocky View Hospital, but yet just like them, any one of them, they were born here at Rocky View Hospital. And then they're consistently asking my children where they're from. You think that is fair? No, that doesn't confuse the mind and confuse a person if they know that they know nowhere. Some of them have never been to their mother country, motherland, but yet they are not allowed to say, I am Canadian, I was born here. They have to tell the person, okay, I am black, but I am Canadian. Is that right? Just because of the color of their skin, they have to say, oh no, I'm Canadian. And my daughter had to do that a couple of times with people. No, I'm Canadian, I was born here. Why? She don't have an accent, right? No. And I'm strongly about it because I don't agree with it. I do not agree with it. People need to be sensitive to other people's feelings. People, if you choose to disclose where you're from, that is your problem. That is your business. You can accept that. You can acknowledge that. If you choose not to disclose that, that is your problem. If somebody asks you if what is where you're from, and you decided, okay, it's not relevant, it is your choice. Lots of Jamaican like to say, oh, I'm from Jamaica. That is your problem. That is your right. If I want to say I'm Canadian, that is my right. As a Jamaican Canadian, it is my right to say whichever I pleases. And I'm not, doesn't mean that I'm advocating, I'm saying, okay, oh, I'm behaving as if Jamaica is no good. That is not what I'm saying here. And when you can have love for two countries equally. Nothing is wrong with that. And two, you can have love for the country that you migrate in more than the country that you were born. Nothing is wrong with that because you wasn't given a choice where you were born. Right? And so people need to understand that and respect that because that's how life is, right? Canada has done great for me. And if I choose to say I'm from Canada, I'm Canadian, so what? If I choose to decide to say I am Jamaican, so what? I live more right now. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be living in Canada. So my birth country is Jamaica. But when is it okay for me to say I'm Canadian without being questioned after I spent a lifetime working in this country? And a lot of people like to say, oh, because you don't look Canadian. How does Canadian look? Because if I remember, a lot of people come see the indigenous people here, the native people here, right? There were people living in this country before they came here. But yet, my dark skinned kids aren't, oh, where you're from. Now, I could understand that in Britain, there's a lot of, I mean, that's where they're originally from, right? But this is not in 1950, nor is it in the 1960s, the 70s, the 80s. We are in 2022, right? This woman who was the queen friend, who is William godmother, who should know better, who knows that this is a sensitive topic, should not have asked the woman and drilled the woman and interrogate the woman in such a manner. And I find it very offensive when people are saying, oh, what is wrong with? You know what is wrong with it? Could she have asked her, oh, so where your parents come from? Without the lady asking, why is it's okay for her to ask that question and not the other way around? And you know another thing where people like to do too? To try to show you if you go to an event, you go to an event, they go to a professional event and you're there. And all of them have them so-called MSc or them master or them PhD and whatnot. Not they are at an event and the thing that they want to get you with. Oh, so what do you do? What you do? What? Did I ask you what you do? I'm a housewife. Yeah. What's wrong with that? It's almost like some of them feel for put you in your place. What you do for living. Leave people alone. Stop it. Someone want to know exactly what you're doing. As I said before, nothing is wrong with asking somebody where you're from. You have for a normal conversation. There's a place and a time for everything. Okay? That wasn't the place and time for that. Okay? The woman was there because she cared about women with going through domestic violence, and she's there for that cause. And this lady talked to the lady about what? Garbage. What that even matter. Instead of she asked the lady, the question that she ought to be asking the lady at that point is, what can we do to help women who is going through domestic violence? That's what the question should have been. The question shouldn't have been where you come from, which part of Africa you come from. Which clearly the lady didn't want to. She said that I'm from Africa. Of course, it is. And the thing is, it was clearly that she must have been from Africa because she's black. So why would she want to do that to this lady? Oh, she want to remind her that she's black. She looking at the mirror every day and she see that she's black. That is my take on it. And then, guys, I was listening to this one program, right? And they're talking about, no, they try to disqualify or discredit the woman. What she's saying that she is black. That she's saying that the woman have a history because she agrees, or she must have tweeted something back in May last year or something like that about Meghan Markle and good for Meghan or something, or she must cheer on Meghan. And then now them trying to discredit what the lady is saying, that okay, what is wrong? Then another thing too, you come now and you pull people here. Pull what? You shouldn't touch your hair. You know the topic is sensitive here. You don't live under a rock. You're living in North America. You know how sensitive these topics are. You're not living in Barbados where most of the people there is black. You're not living in Jamaica where most of everybody is the same down there. You're living in a multiracial country. You're supposed to respect. There's norms and there's things that is acceptable and things that is not acceptable. If I'm in Jamaica and I see my black friend, I'm gonna go touch. I will touch her here and say, oh, it look nice or whatnot. Not. It's not your place and how to touch your ear. You need to understand norms. Just like me wouldn't look for your wrinkle on your face and said to you, oh my God, I've never seen so much wrinkle in my life. I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't. So you need to have understanding of other people. I wouldn't. There's things that is acceptable and things that is not acceptable. And you need to communicate that. You need to understand that if you don't know how to, or what is the norm, or what to understand with another, try to understand another ethnic person. There's lots of YouTube videos. There is lots of YouTube videos. Lots of it. You can go there, you can go look it up, you can do anything, right? It's not the other person to communicate that to you. It is your job to go find out, right? I remember once I went to my workplace and I had on, okay, this is my natural hair. Sometimes I wear my natural hair. And I had on a wig. The day before I had my natural hair. The next day I had my wig. And somebody going to look at me and they're going to say to me, oh my God, your hair grew so long. Your hair grew. No, come on, no. Come on. Why do you think that person asked me that or even suggest that? Because they want to embarrass me. That's what it was. You see me yesterday, right? You know that hair only grow must maybe less than an inch a month. And you see me turn up the next day with my hair, catch me in my back, you're going to tell me, say, oh wow, your hair grew so long. Oh my God. Isn't that fake? What are you trying to do? And then all I said to you, okay, it was bought and paid for. No, people need to know what they're doing and what they're saying. And people need to be sensitive to other people. Ray for all the people who born in a country and they want to acknowledge that country. It is obvious anyways. That is not something that we have to go on a pedestal and put there. Okay, from you hear my accent, you will know that I'm from somewhere in the Caribbean, so I don't have to shout it out and says, oh, I'm Jamaican, I'm Jamaican. You knew. And if you deal with ethnic people all the time, you will know the different accent. That shows me that if you don't know my accent, you don't really deal with ethnic people. So that means you're not making an effort to deal with people from different races. Okay? Now, I don't have to say to you every time I go to the supermarket and I meet somebody, oh, I'm from here, from there. Make it a point of duty to listen to people's accent. Do you know what a Spanish accent look like? You know what a Nigerian accent look like? You know what a British accent look like? Why ask these questions that is already a norm? Yeah? If you don't know, go look it up. People are sensitive. People don't want to hear it. Hold on, I have a call coming in. Just hold on, guys. Yeah. So, Kieran, I'm on a live. Hello? 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 I'm on a live and I want to ask you a question and answer me this. Now, let me say something. I don't know if you have seen have you seen the incident that took place in Canada, in Britain, where the lady was asked if she was she was British, or she was said, where are you from? Like she went to a function or a charity function that Camilla Parks put on, that which is a queen consort. She put it on and she went there and she said to her, okay, and then the lady, this one lady who is very close to the queen that passed, said to her, okay, where are you from? Then she said to her, then she says, oh, she thought she was talking about like which organization she's representing. But that's not what the lady was asking. The lady was asking her, so where you're from? So she's our nationality or whatever. So she said to her, well, I'm from, she give a place in England, says I'm from there. And then then again, the lady said, no, where are you really from? Then she didn't understand because but she don't have an accent or anything. She's British. She was born in Britain. So now you think that that is appropriate?
I mean, context-wise, I don't know everything that was going on, why she asked the question, but if there's no reason you just ask that question, then that sounds weird. Like, why would you ask? What does it matter? You're at an event that a bunch of people are at. Why should it matter where I'm from?
Exactly. Why does it matter where you're from? Because sometimes we have communication, we meet another person and we will say, where are you from? Right?
Yeah, and you're accent, like, so you meet you, I mean, your accent, you say, oh, where are you from? Because you're just curious because you're an accent.
Right.
There's no accent.
Exactly. And then she's going to dig into the lady past where she's from. And the lady, and sometimes some of them don't get the hint. If a person is even dodging the question, leave it alone. Is it not appropriate? Leave it alone. Why are you stressing out where the lady is from? Like this is a big deal. It's not a big deal. Anyways, so so now she's sending her resignation, right? She's 84-year-old, and everybody now up LE about it, about how some people agree with it and some people don't agree with it. I mean,
no, she's probably wrong. She's wrong, but that doesn't mean you quit. Like, why can't she just apologize and say she's wrong? Why does she have to quit? Everything is not always about you quitting. Like,
right.
You can say you're wrong and it's the wrong mentality to have.
Like, and then
we're human beings. We fall short. We make mistakes.
And she moved the lady here, and no, she had locks, right? And then she moved the lady here out of her face.
Oh, heck no, you didn't say that. That is
Exactly. Yeah, she move her hair out of her face, like out of her face. Just she said that she wanted to see her badge, and then she go ahead and start asking these questions about, where you're from. And then she even go as far as one of the question was, listen to this. One of the question was, um, where are you? No, one of the and then she said to her, I see I'm gonna have a difficult time getting to know where you're really, really from.
None of your business.
Simple. Now, I have another question I want to share with you. Okay. Say you live abroad. Like, for example, me, I live abroad. And I noticed that when I was traveling to the state back last year, and I was in Naples, right? And I was on the beach and whatnot. Not. I met a lot of people, and the first thing they asked me where I'm from. Now,
Well, with you, Shereen, and me, somebody asked us that, I don't take to offense because we have an accent. So I get it, and I go, oh, I know where you're from, that kind of thing.
oh, hold on. Just hear me out. So, no, people ask me where you're from, and I would say to them, sometimes, depending on where I said, you know what, I live in Canada. And I would just say, I live in Canada for the last 20 years. I know I have an accent, right? Hold on. So then, but it depending on where it depending on how I feel that day. I'll say, oh, well, I'm Canadian if I choose to. It's my choice, right? So I'll say I'm Canadian. I went 5 hours away from Calgary the other day, and I was up north, and I met people, and they asked me where I'm from. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm from Jamaica. I just says, well, I'm in the province of Alberta. So I just told them that, well, we're from Calgary, right? I'm not gonna go, oh, I'm Jamaican. I wouldn't even think that they were gonna ask me where exactly are you from. So people need to be mindful of asking these questions if it is not appropriate, right? Because it will get people feel away, especially when you're living into especially an area which you are the minority. It gets a little bit tricky, and people need to understand that. And what if you're not living in an area where you are the minority, they don't want, you won't understand it. You would look on the inside and say, oh, what is wrong with that? But we who live here amongst certain people or certain ethnicity know where it's coming from. Sometimes it can be geared towards go back to your country where you come from, right? Sometimes it can be innocent, right? Sometimes it can be innocent, but sometimes, most of the time, it's not, right? And there are microaggression in there. Now, I was just talking to somebody on the phone, and they are saying that they don't see anything wrong with that. And once somebody asked them where them come from, they are so proud to say, I'm Jamaican, and that is it, and they wouldn't take offense to it at all, which is fine, right? Because they have never been, okay, if they have never been to a different country, and they have never migrated or lived into a country for 20 years, how can they know how another individual would have taken it? How can they? Huh? Yeah, I'm just saying that. But I don't know. People just different. People don't understand it. People, when you travel and live abroad, them always are oftentimes, because you have an accent, make you feel like you are not from there. Make you feel like, even though you work all your life in that country and give everything to that country. And it is so unfair. It is so unfair. Right? You have to announce yourself all the time. Huh?
I agree. People ask me some, and you're right. Sometimes it depends on the setting and how I feel. If I feel like them, I come out like, oh, I hear an accent where you feel like I'm supposed to go, tell me not mind. But if you feel like them, I try to be, you can tell sometimes when people are smooth. make sure that gets you up for all that stuff. Yeah. You can tell sometimes when people are sleepy and you know where they're coming from. So you feel that sense from them, then yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
Right. Right. And it is so unfair. And so these are questions people need. Okay. For example, I have my kids. They are from Canada. They were born at the hospital in Rocky View Hospital. And they have gotten asked question all the time, where are you from? Just because them don't fit into the norm in that area that we live in.
Yeah.
You think that is fair to those girls?
I mean, it's not, but it's where we live in, child.
Exactly.
It's not fair. Because what does it really matter? Like, I think the only time you ask somebody where they're from is you hear some kind of accent, or they have an exotic look, and you're curious. You're just saying, oh, wow, you're so, like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Where are you from? Like, if it's like that, I don't mind, because sometimes people are just looking at, oh, like, this is like to give you, just to kind of get a picture of, that a lot of people are not well traveled, so they're curious. There's nothing wrong with that, but there are some people that coming at it from a different perspective, like they're trying to really put you down when they ask the questions. It's not about curiosity or a mindset of inclusion. It's more a mindset of exclusion.
Exactly.
So yeah, I just really coming from.
Right. And people need to stop it, because some of these people, they know what they're doing. They know this is a sensitive topic. They know, right? For example, this woman, she's in Britain. She sounds British. The two of them sound British. I've listened to her. I've played her.
Yeah, that's what I was coming at. I was like, remember when you first said it? I didn't even let you finish. I was like, she must have an accent. Because, I mean, that's the only reason why you would ask that question. Somebody has an accent, and that's why you ask it. But if they don't have an accent, why exactly are you asking that question? Like, I don't see the purpose in it.
Exactly. I don't even see the purpose. Exactly. What was her intention? What was her intent behind asking her that? Huh? That's what I want to know. And then hold on. And another situation that took place too is the fact that I was listening to this one commentator, and he said that they don't see a problem with it. I know they're reading too much into it, and how those are the people from that century, because the woman is 84 years old, and they are making excuses for her behavior. They said that she was the queen friend, because when they were in, you remember during the COVID time when they were in lockdown, and when her husband died, this woman was the only woman that could have comfort Queen Elizabeth, because she and her is so close. And this lady that behaved like this, she is William's godmother. So I'm thinking in my head that, okay, no, they're saying, oh, she couldn't have been because the queen she's not racist. How we know the queen is racist and she was hiding it? The queen is from that era.
We don't get to see who they truly are. They don't show us that.
Exactly. Right? And then this lady, if she was so great and the queen loved her so much, some of what the queen would have done would have rubbed off on her, and she wouldn't have asked those questions, because I'm sure Queen Elizabeth would never have asked those questions. She know what protocols are, right? She wouldn't ask those questions.
Queen Elizabeth did well point. She probably thinks the same way she does, but would not ask the question only because she's lived that lifestyle for so long that she knows better. That's all.
Right.
I don't think Queen Elizabeth is catch up the piece that come on. No, I couldn't get there if they wanted to show. Do you care to show? They don't care to show. If you wanted to show, it's hard to grab it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, guys, there you have it. So anyways, I don't know. Huh?
Were you just upset about it, or are you doing a piece on it?
I was doing a piece on it because I was upset. And because I was talking to somebody and they are saying that oh, I don't feel any way about it. So I said, how can you know? You can't feel any way about it because, and I was using this analogy to the person. I was saying to them, listen, if you don't drink milk, I wouldn't ask you for your opinion of how milk tastes. If I want to hear something, like if I haven't, like for this discussion, it is better fit somebody who has lived into two different country, like their original country, and then they have migrated, and they can probably tell me or give me a better understanding of how them feel. They can't just sit in their original country and tell me anything because they don't know what it is. You have never lived into a country that you are the minority. So for you to even speak, you shouldn't even, I wouldn't want to hear your opinion really. And that is how I feel. Yes, I understand that. Yeah, you sitting on in your own country who have never lived into a country that you're the minority. Yes, I understand that you would be proud sharing where you're from, but you will get a little ticked off when you living into a country who you are now the minority. If somebody keep every time or over and over keep asking you where you're from, especially when you know the context behind it.
Yeah, that's why so many white people never understood why black people think when they say, "Well, that's racist." And I don't think that's until they start seeing stuff like George Floyd when this video start going around. How they start.
Exactly. Right. And I know that some, now this conversation is, if you have never, if you are black and you have never really lived into a country, as I said before, you live into a country where, okay, when you look, you go into the school, is only two black person in that school. You cannot sit there and give an opinion if you have never been into that situation. You know, I have this one cousin back home, and we were talking about school. She's a school teacher, and we were talking about school in Canada here. And I was telling her, I don't remember the conversation because this happened years ago. And I was telling her about some the system here in Canada, the school system. And she hold belled held. She's telling me what I know. And I've been in the school system because I used to go there to volunteer because my son, he was coded in the school, and I had to go there and volunteer and sit with him day in, day out. And she's telling me how the school system is run here. And she had never been in the school system here. It is so funny how people think that they know because them, I mean, you think the school system in Jamaica is the same thing as here? Not even close. Not even close. And yet them have an opinion. Sometimes we don't need your opinion because if you have never been into a situation, no makes sense you give an opinion. Right? Because you can, what you can say is that I wouldn't be, it wouldn't be I would love to say I'm from Jamaica, right? But you've never lived into a country. Right now, when you go abroad, apart from when you go to Jamaica, and I mean, you don't have a Jamaican accent as strongly as I do. You don't have to announce that you're Jamaican. It depending on your feeling that day. You can say I'm American, right? And you feel totally great with it if you want to do that. But some Jamaican think just because you're born in Jamaica, you love Jamaica more than the country that you live in. That's not true. I love Jamaica. I happen to be one of those Jamaican who love Jamaica, but it could be the other way around. And people need to accept that.
I think most Jamaicans love Jamaica. We might not like everything that's going on, but Jamaica is a country where it's hard to say okay. You know what I'm saying? So I believe most Jamaicans love Jamaica. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right. Most Jamaican love Jamaica. We're not going to denounce our country. There's no reason to. But it depending on that individual, what you want to say. Right? I meet guys in Florida and they ask me where I'm from. And I told them, I said, well, this. What am I gonna say? Anyway, this woman, she should have had more sense than that, right? What should have happened? She should have had more sense. She should have at least tried to understand that, you know what, let it go. They don't know when to finish, when to done, when to leave it alone. Oh, did you hear the situation where Meghan Markle, she the Prince William and Kate is in the state, you know that. So they visited the Harvard University because I think they are doing some kind of charity work, and it has to do with special need kids, something about that. So, anyways, Prince William, Meghan, and Harry, they released their the Netflix debut, the clip stating what their series is going to be on. So their series is going to be on how they were treated, obviously, in the palace. Now, a lot of people saying, oh, the timing was wrong. And I don't think anything wrong with the timing, because everybody have to, when you're doing that, when you're in a business, people need to understand that there is timing to put out certain things. Just like Will Smith. Will Smith now, he's promoting his movie, and it's the first time he came out and talk about the Chris Rock event there. What wrong with that? He's doing it because he's promoting his new movie. So he has no choice but to come on social media to promote that. Now, my thing with Will Smith is that he should have come out and talk about it before the movie. But him choose not to. Right? Him choose not to. And so now Kate and William, I'm sure they are pissed about it. But who cares? Who cares? Because guess what? If I was in Meghan's position, I would try to get as much deal as possible, because what? They don't know when they're going to throw them out and take their title, because King Charles can do anything and take Meghan Markle title and take the son title. So they have to try to get as much money as possible to help them family. And who wouldn't? Your first respond is to protect your own. And so people now understand that. That is where it's at.
But I don't know these people, but I honestly don't think Prince Charles give a crap what's behind one way or the other.
Yes, he does, because guess what? If the monarch is he needs to keep, listen, people need to keep the throne together. They need to keep it. And if they don't, remember that we used to have a lot of king and queen all over the world until they are no more. Right? They are no more. But now they have to protect them monarch. They have to protect them legacy. That is what they are trying to do. And if Prince Charles don't protect his legacy, sooner or later there is no king and no queen. So he has to protect his legacy. So he do care.
I get that, but Harry can never be the king, not unless his brother and his folks and their children die. So Harry will never be the king.
No, he will never be. But you never know, because look here, people advocate the throne before. You never know. The weirdest thing can happen, right? They can go into a car accident and all of them ending up dead. Anything possible. But it's either here or there. But a lot of people just saying that Meghan Markle shouldn't do that, because what she trying to do, turn the spotlight on her. Of course. Why you come to America?
No one's there. from all of them. Let them go jump off somewhere. Who cares?
Anyhow.
I mean, I'm just over them. Like, just leave the girl alone. Like, y'all just leave. She ain't even bothering y'all. Leave her alone. Gosh.
Yeah, she's just trying to make a living like everybody else.
Yeah, just like they are to go somewhere.
Exactly. And it's almost like it's not acceptable because she wants to come in, go get in on the pie. You know what? People don't like to see other people survive. That's what it is. I think. Honestly, I think that. Like, I mean, I'm trying to, do my own thing. And if somebody wants to do the same thing, I say rate them, I cheer them on. Because I'm not gonna be greedy. There's lots of money is infinite. That's the word. Money is infinite. Right? And if it is yours, it's gonna be yours. If it's not yours, it's not gonna be yours. I'm soon call you back. I'm soon call you back.
All right.
Anyhow, guys, there you have it. There you have it. You have my opinion. Now, I welcome all opinions, and I understand that people have different opinion and how they see things differently. But sometimes before we give an opinion, we need to look at the situation. If you have never been in a country or living in a country where you're the minority, can you have an opinion really? Can you really understand what it means to experience that kind of racism? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. So I don't think you can have an opinion based on that fact. What you can do is you can have an opinion based on where you are at the point in time in your life and saying that, oh, yes, it is okay. Right? So there you have it, guys. Please remember to share my video and subscribe to my channel, guys. Mwah.